The latest Miraculous World Special, titled London at the Edge of Time, was released a few days ago on Disney Channel France. I have to say, I had much higher expectations, but the special took an unexpected turn and delivered a roller coaster of emotion that I haven't felt for a while. Welcome back to Jeffrey Talks, I'm Jeff, and today we're talking Miraculous World London. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention that the ongoing conflict in Lebanon has forced us to relocate, which might make it harder for us to deliver content as fast as we used to. In any case, please keep Lebanon in your thoughts and prayers. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more miraculous content. Let's start by taking a quick look at what happened in the episode. The episode picks up where we left off, with Gabriel's wish still affecting everyone. Bug Noir delivers the lie to Adrien, reassures Kagami about what's going on, and opens up to Natalie more, which indirectly led to her revealing her identity. Next, Lila gets her hand on the Miraculous and turns into Time Stalker, a time-traveling supervillain who is set to go back in time to discover Ladybug's true identity. Once the goal is achieved, Lila reacclimatizes herself into a guest-like villain named Spectral Looter, gets the Miraculous, and makes the wish. To stop this, Chronobug and Bunox join forces to stop them from finding out who Ladybug really is without them noticing. As we do in every review video, we're going to break the special down into a few different sections so we can cover everything. Let's start with Marinettes Arc. As we said before, this episode was all about Marinette. We really got into her character and how both truth and lies affect her. We saw how Gabriel affects Marinette emotionally, how he manipulated her, and what choice he made her face. Gabriel used Marinette's emotion to make her think that Adrien doesn't have to know. Because Marinette loved him, she thought that he needs protection, that he wouldn't be able to accept the truth, and that she was the only one who could hold onto it. That's how we saw a new side of Marinette in this episode, a side that shockingly shows how similar she is to Gabriel Agreste and Lila Rossi. The Ladybug equal Gabriel Agreste joke might seem insignificant, but it could be a foreshadowing of what the manipulation Marinette went through. In all of the previous cases, Adrien was the one who was willing to sacrifice himself for Ladybug or Marinette. This made people realize how similar Gabriel and Adrien are. Now, with the events of the special, you can see the parallels between Gabriel and Marinette even more. At the same time, the special revealed some similarities between Lila and Marinette. Marinette holding onto the secret and tweaking the words to make them the only truth parallel Lila's world from Season 3, Episode 1, Chameleon.
I only tell people what they want to hear.
While people around her like Kagami and Natalie were telling her to let go of the lie and the burden and let Adrien know the truth, it seems like Kagami's thoughts are correct and Marinette is blinded by love and can decide what's best for Adrien. Let's move on from Marinette and talk about Adrien. As the season went on, we saw how much Adrien needed a dad. He needed someone to care for him and help him cope with his mother's passing. While Natalie and Adrien had some great moments, it wasn't as heartwarming as when Adrien saw Gabriel acting as a father. When he realized his father was gone, he was shocked and upset. Our cheerful guy has more depth than we initially thought. The scene was intense and gave us insight into his character. After they returned to Paris, Adrien's emotions were clearly visible in his jumpy hug with Natalie and his interaction with Marinette, who unfortunately just lied to him. This showed another side to his relationship with Marinette. The Adrienne-Lady Noir relationship is now going to be much more interesting, with both of them lying to each other, the same thing that broke up their previous relationships, except this time, they both are lying about things that are directly correlated, stuff that Gabriel planted, and it will haunt them for a long time. In this relationship, Adrien will be able to talk much about it to Marinette, but not to Ladybug. At the same time, Ladybug will be able to open a little bit to Cat Noir, but not to Adrien. At least that's what I felt hinted through the Lady Noir scene at the end. Ladybug wants to open up about the burden that she's holding, and maybe since Cat Noir is the only one who can relate to her holding such big secrets, as he is the one hiding his identity from the girl he loves most, he can be the perfect choice. And no, it's not gonna be Alia this time, it's gonna be Cat Noir. Next up is Natalie and her new role for the next season. Natalie realized that Bug Noir is Marinette and gave her some space to relax, which changed their relationship and turned out to be one of the most interesting dynamics in the whole series. It's so touching to see the pair go from being enemies to a mother-daughter relationship. As Marinette takes on more responsibilities, she needs someone she can rely on as an adult. It shouldn't be Suhan, she needs someone who knows her in real life. Natalie is the perfect choice. She's the center and the link between Marinette and Adrien. Natalie wants Marinette to tell Adrien the truth, that's why I don't think Lila is going to be the one to reveal it to him. It'll probably come out through someone he trusts the most. That's probably why we saw his angst for the first time in this episode. Next, let's talk about Lila Cerise, or whatever this new identity of hers is called. In this episode, Chronobug said,
You're nothing like the former Hawkmoth. Much more clever. Clever enough shocked to not be wearing the butterfly Miraculous, I bet.
I have to say, this is one of the most interesting plans we've seen in the series so far. It's impressive how it failed only thanks to the Miraculous of the time. Lila is much smarter than Gabriel was and is ever to be. The most interesting part is that Lila's wish is set to change the universe in a way that no one has seen before. Here's a theory, it's to replace Marinette. We've seen Shadybug want this before, so what if there's a character in the original story who's so jealous of Marinette or Ladybug's secret identity that they want to be them? That could change the entire universe. In the final scene, we see Lila putting on the Miraculous. One interesting thing to note is that the Miraculous is upside down compared to how Gabriel used to put it on. If we want to talk about what this symbolizes, I think it's because Lila doesn't have a good reason to wear the Miraculous. In other words, Gabriel's villain was driven by his love for his wife, while Lila's motives are based on pure evil. I'd also like to discuss Lila's relationships with Nuru. While everyone thought Gabriel was the worst holder to ever treat a Kiwami, we realized that he was not even close to Lila's treatment of Nuru. Nuru was being treated as a toy, a source of power, not a creature of emotions. And while this was the most we got out of Nuru in an episode, it showed us that Nuru's character is more fragile than the other Kiwamis, and that his power is some of the best in the series. Something I found interesting in this episode is that Tiki always knew Marinette was going to need her in the future. This shows why Tiki has always trusted Marinette blindly even when she did silly things. Plus, using the Miraculous from the origin episode shows how much Marinette and Tiki have grown. They went from doubting they could be superheroines to saving the entire universe from being erased. Another thing is Marinette's relationship with the Kiwamis and how it affected Plug. Marinette bonding with every Kiwami shows she's a great guardian. Regarding that particular scene, Marinette's quote,
I'm transforming the Miraculous. First to make them prettier, but mostly to add a few new features. We've gotta be ready.
Has been confirmed. This suggests that the Miraculous will undergo changes in the next season. I think it's a good move for the season. It'll give the Miraculous a new depth to explore and allow us to feel fresh with the new animation. I'd also like to discuss the time travel aspect of the show, which features the trio of Bunnics. One of the most interesting aspects of the show is actually the time travel, and it's the most consistent part. It's just a set of rules that the writers have stuck to, and they haven't had any plot holes. Bunnics is one of the most interesting heroes. During her time in the Bureau, she learned a lot about the history of the universe, the heroes in Paris, their true identities, and more. Now that we know she knows all of this, I hope she won't spend all her time in the Bureau at the previous season. I hope they'll build on this aspect and expand Bunnics' knowledge and help, just like she did in this episode. The trio of Bunnics is also an interesting concept. They seem to be the TVA of this universe, set to keep the universe in balance in case of branching timelines, in hope that their mission won't end here and that we will get to see more of them in the next season. Now, let's talk about the final scene, the transition to the new animation style, and Lila's final line. In the final scene, Lila says,
So, you really think you can outsmart me? Huh, Ladybug? We'll see who finds who first.
in response to Ladybug as we meet Marinette in the new animation. It looks iconic, fresh, colorful, and neat. It seems likely that all of those events took place before the epilogue of Season 5. This would mean that the scene with Lila and the blue light at the end of season would come after this. If the analysis of the lines was correct, Lila is the one who finds out first, and that's how she'll get close to Marinette. She'll join as her friend, not an enemy, which lines up with the synopsis that says they're very close but they have no idea. That's how we wrap up our review and analysis of the London special. Of course, more videos would have come out of this special, so stay tuned. What were your thoughts and theories? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you soon.